debt. Okay, DEBT, the bane of my existence since I was 18 years old. I saw this debt-free future tag on YouTube. I saw Shayna of the Wealth Vibe doing that. If you don't know who that is, you need to check out her videos. Pretty much doing this debt-free tag. There are 5 questions that you are supposed to answer as part of this debt-free tag challenge or whatever it is to be. So I am going to go ahead and answer those questions right now. So the first question asks, when did you start your debt-free journey? Okay, so good question. Let's full disclosure, I am 30 years old, okay? So I'm not gonna lie to you, I've pretty much been paying debt for a very long time, since I was about 22 years old whenever I graduated from college and I started paying off those student loans, which I am still paying off. Yay, education. Okay, so officially, I've been on a debt-free journey technically since 2011, I guess, but not like an intentional debt-free journey, if that makes sense. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay these minimum payments and I'm gonna get over it with it. It wasn't like the long run picture of let me get out of debt and, financial independence, all that, right? And then I was flipping to some old journals of mine, and then I saw what I wrote in my journal in 2014, which was when I was 25. And there were 2 goals that I wanted to accomplish by the time I reached 30. It was to be debt-free by 30, and as well as travel to 30 countries before I turned 30 years old. Didn't accomplish either of those things, mainly because the trajectory of my life changed dramatically, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. This is about debt-free things and debt and money and all that stuff. So number 1, I started my debt-free journey technically 2011, then again recommitted in 2014. But for real, like this year is kind of when I was like, all right, I need to get this debt out of the way. But even then, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get serious about like buckling down, doing my budget and all that stuff until right now, like July of 2019. Okay, so how long have I been on this journey? 12 days. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, how long do you think it would, that was number 1. Number 2, how long do you think it will take you to become debt-free? If you are comfortable doing so, briefly share what your current debt consists of, right? Honestly, I think I could become debt-free if I hustled, meaning like I did some side gigs, got some extra income that way, adhered to my budget, keyword adhered to it, kept to it, followed that jump, you know what I mean? Adhered to my budget, picked up some side gigs, and reduced my spending. I can definitely pay off my debt in the next 2 years, I would say. It is, again, July 2019. If I could pay off my debt by 2021, Father God, it would be a blessing. However, I do know that things happen, you know what I mean? Life is as such, and that could, keep me from paying off my debt. But again, my plan is to pay it off by 2021. Second part of it is a 2-part question. Second part of the question is, if you're comfortable doing so, briefly share what your current debt consists of, right? So briefly, I will tell you that currently I am $38,000 in debt. So about $38,000. Today is July, right? I have a tracker right here. I'm sorry. That's why I keep looking at my thing. I am $38,000 in debt. And my smallest, let's go from large to small, because largest $22,000, that is my student loan debt currently. When I graduated from college, I think I had about $35,000 of student loan debt, or around that, like between 30 and 35. I don't remember the exact number. I'll probably talk about that in another time. So between $30,000 and $35,000 in debt, only for my undergraduate degree. So I'm still paying that off because I deferred a couple times. I did a forbearance a few times. I went back to school. I got my master's. So then I wasn't paying my loans at that time. So I'm still paying them because, you know, this is America. And 8 years later, I am still paying my student loans. And that's how it's going to go. Second highest, you know what? I'm not going to go into detail. It did say brief overview. So in combination, is that a word? In combination, do you say combined? Okay, that is the word I'm looking for. Combined, I have about $11,806 of credit card debt currently, which honestly, Jesus, it hurts me to even say those things out loud because when I was in my early 20s, I used to be in a lot of credit card debt, and not a lot. It was probably like $2,000 to $3,000, but that was a lot at that time to me because I was young, wild, free, and broke. Okay, so that was a lot. I had paid it off, and you know, I'd like cut off credit cards. I was like, I'm done with credit cards. I'm never using them again. Like they're trash, right? So then I got back into credit cards because I was travel hacking for a time. So I'll talk about that maybe at another time as well. But I was basically using credit cards to like get points so I can travel. And then, you know, but I was being very responsible because I had like, you know, I had a good job. So I was only using them for what I needed, paying them off. And then when I went back to grad school, that's when I pretty much accrued this credit card debt. Not all of it, but a majority of it was from when I was in grad school. I didn't really have there's no excuse. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking now. All right. Next question. Number three. What does it say here? Do you plan to celebrate or reward yourself once you are debt free? If so, how? I'm not sure. You know, I really haven't talked about it. I really think that my 20s have been a whole reward celebration time. Like I lived my entire life in my 20s. So I'm trying to start my 30s like debt free. And then whatever happens after that, I'll figure it out. But, you know, for now, I don't really have any plans for that. So number 4, what does your debt-free future look like? How will life change once you are debt-free? My life, once I'm debt-free, honestly, I don't think it's going to change a whole lot. I might have a little wiggle room to do some extra things that, you know, I haven't really been able to do. As far as traveling and things like that, like, you know, the money that I'm putting towards my debt currently, I could, you know, put towards travel, or maybe even like, you know, putting it towards my future, investing that money, things like that. But as far as the quality of my life and like my day-to-day life, I don't think it's going to change, because I'm going to still continue to budget. I'm still going to, you know, watch how I spend my money. I'm not going to just like, you know, blow that extra bread on like, I don't know, I don't want to be judgy, but, you know, other things. Anyway, so number 5, what lessons will you pass along to your children or future children regarding money and debt? Oh, so many things. Currently, I don't have any kids, but I have kids because I'm a teacher. So I feel like those are my children, low key. And I currently do teach personal finance to high school students, which, again, those are pretty much my kids, right? So the reason, you know, I love teaching personal finance is because I want people to avoid the same mistakes that I made in my early 20s, or even really as soon as I turned 18 and I started getting credit card offers in the mail, you know, student loans, big refund checks so I can blow them on things that I don't even really remember now. You know, a lot of those things are the things that I want to pass on to my kids, whether they're my own kids or any other kids, honestly. So biggest thing I would for real focus on, definitely student loans, just because I feel like it's a trap and they don't really prepare you for what comes next, right? So they're like, oh, take out these loans for right now, like you'll be good or whatever. But like when you graduate and you freaking have more debt than your starting salary, like what are you supposed to do then, right? They don't tell you that part. They're just like, oh, promissory note, sign it, read this, sign it. Oh, you're gonna go to school, you'll be fine. Refund check, use it, interest. What? What's that? Right. So don't get trapped. Student loans, number 1. Number 2, credit, right? Jesus, Lord, have a mercy. Credit report, credit scores, obtaining credit, utilization of credit, meaning keeping your credit card limit low. Not limit, but the amount that you have on it, as far as how much you've charged on it and how that impacts your score, what goes into your score, how it's like calculated, right? what goes into your score, how long certain things stay on your credit report, and why credit is important. Even if you don't want to take out credit, why it's important for your credit report to be clean for other aspects of your life, right? Employment, setting up utilities, cell phones, electricity, putting down deposits on houses. Not houses, but putting down deposits on apartments, right? Your security deposit can depend on your credit score. If your credit score is low, then your landlord is going to take a higher security deposit because you're at risk, right? So it's how people view you in the world. I don't know about the entire world, but in the United States, the credit score is really, really important. All right, so that's really all for right now. Again, currently about $38,000 in debt, mainly consisting of student loans and credit cards. So student loans are $22,000, credit cards are $11,000. Wow, I just realized that I didn't tell you the last part of my student loans. Not my student loans, the last part of my debt is my car loan. I have a car loan that I'm almost done paying off. It should be paid off by May of next year, and that is currently at $3,900, so almost $4,000. So that's going to be paid off in May. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I've been paying that for like 6 years. So yeah, moral of the story, don't be like me, okay? All right, see you later.